Do you ever feel like you're playing a game where the rules were written for someone else? You work hard, you follow the rules, you pay your taxes, expecting it to build a better community, better roads, better schools. But what if I told you the entire system isn't what it seems? What if taxes aren't primarily about funding the system, but about maintaining obedience? Stick with me, because what I am about to share will fundamentally change how you view your money and your place in the economy. We're taught from a young age that paying taxes is our civic duty. It's the price we pay for a civilized society. And on the surface, that makes sense. We see our tax dollars at work, or at least, we're told we do. But let's pull back the curtain for a moment. You believe your taxes build your world, fund public services, and create a safety net for everyone. In reality, they are a powerful tool for building your dependence. The system is meticulously designed so that the average worker, the person earning a salary, bears the heaviest burden. The rules are written in a way that makes workers bleed through paycheck deductions, while large corporations and the ultra-wealthy seem to effortlessly breathe, navigating a completely different set of rules. Think about it. When you get your paycheck, what's the first thing that happens? The government takes its cut before you even see the money. You pay tax on every single dollar you earn through labor. It's automatic, it's non-negotiable, and it feels like a constant drain. You're taxed when you earn it, you're taxed when you spend it through sales tax, and you're taxed on the things you own, like property. It's a relentless cycle. Meanwhile, you hear stories about massive, profitable companies paying little to no corporate tax. How is that possible? This isn't an accident. It's the design. The tax code is a labyrinth, and those who have the resources to hire armies of lawyers and accountants can navigate its secret passages, while the rest of us are stuck on the main, heavily tolled road. This isn't just about fairness. It's about control. By keeping the working and middle classes financially stretched, the system ensures they remain dependent on their jobs, less likely to take risks, start businesses, or challenge the status quo. Your financial energy is consumed just by trying to keep your head above water. Here's the revelation that changes everything. The rich don't just avoid taxes in the way a person might try to cheat the system. No, it's much more profound. They own the tax laws. They influence them. They have the power, through lobbying and political contributions, to help write the rules in their favor. So when they pay a fraction of what you do, they're not breaking the law. They're using the law that was tailor-made for them. The loopholes aren't bugs in the system, they're features. They are deliberate, legal pathways designed for those who generate wealth through assets and investments, not through a 9-to-5 job. And there's plenty of proof to back this up. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's documented fact. A recent OECD report from 2023 highlighted that billionaires legally avoid an estimated $240 billion every single year through these perfectly legal loopholes. Let that number sink in. That's $250 billion annually that could be funding every public service imaginable. The truth is stark when you look at the numbers. An average worker can see up to 40% or even more of their income go towards various taxes. But an investor, someone whose money works for them, can pay as little as 0 to 5% on their gains, especially if they structure their assets correctly. We see this pattern repeat over and over again. Every time there's a call for tax reform, who do you think benefits most? The narrative is always about simplifying the code or giving a break to the middle class. But when the dust settles, the gap between the tax burden on labor and the tax burden on capital has almost always widened. These reforms often introduce new deductions, new credits, and new shelters that are most accessible to those who already have significant assets. It's a self-perpetuating cycle where wealth protects itself and grows, while the wage earner continues to fund the bulk of the system. The game is rigged, not by criminals in the shadows, but by the very architects of the system, operating in plain sight. So, what can you do? It's easy to feel angry or helpless, and those feelings are valid. But anger alone doesn't change your financial reality. The solution isn't to protest in the streets, and it certainly isn't to try and illegally evade taxes. That will only land you in a world of trouble. The key is to learn the game. You have to stop seeing the tax code as just a burden and start seeing it for what it is, a set of rules and incentives, and you can learn to play by those same rules. This means shifting your mindset from being just a consumer and a worker to becoming an owner and an investor. How do you do that? You start by educating yourself. You learn how to turn those tax drains into deductions. The system incentivizes certain behaviors. It rewards business owners, real estate investors, and people who create jobs. When you own a business, your expense is your car, your phone. Part of your home can become legitimate business write-offs, reducing your taxable income before you pay a dime. When you own investment properties, you can depreciate the building, which is a massive paper loss deduction. Even if the property is making you money, you need to focus on building assets that the tax code favors, assets that pay you while costing you less in taxes. This is the fundamental shift. You stop trading your time for money, which is the most heavily taxed form of income, and you start acquiring assets that generate income more favorably. It might start small. Maybe it's a side hustle that you formalize into a small business. Maybe it's saving up for your first rental property. Maybe it's learning about investment vehicles that offer tax advantages. The point is to start. The journey from being a passive taxpayer to an active player in the financial game begins with a single step: education. You have to seek out this knowledge because it's not taught in schools. Nobody in a position of power benefits from you knowing these rules. They want you to stay in your lane, collect your paycheck, and pay your share without asking too many questions. This brings us to the core moral of the story. The system does untax your income as much as it taxes your ignorance. Your lack of financial education is the most expensive thing you own. It costs you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of dollars over your lifetime. By remaining financially illiterate, you are willingly playing a game you are designed to lose. You are paying a premium for not knowing the rules. But the moment you decide to learn, the moment you start asking why and how, you begin to take your power back. You start to see the tax code not as a weapon used against you, but as a tool you can learn to use for yourself. It's not about finding shady loopholes. It's about understanding the legal and ethical strategies that the wealthy have been using for generations to build and preserve their wealth. This isn't a call to become greedy or to stop caring about society. It's about securing your own financial foundation so you can have a greater impact. When you're not constantly stressed about bills and taxes, you have the freedom to contribute in more meaningful ways to your family, to your community, to causes you believe in. You can create jobs. You can support charities. Financial freedom gives you choices, and the path to that freedom runs directly through understanding the rules of money and tax. So, I challenge you to start today. Pick up a book on tax strategies for investors. Watch videos from CPAs who specialize in this. Talk to a financial advisor who understands this world. Turn your financial frustration into fuel for your financial education. Stop being a pawn in the game and start learning how to become a player. The illusion is powerful, but knowledge is the one thing that can shatter it. Don't let your ignorance be their greatest asset. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this. I know it's a lot to take in, but I believe this is one of the most important conversations we can have. If this resonated with you and you want to learn more about how to navigate this complex financial world, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're just getting started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.